like
Well,
that.
I mean, what is a scientist?
I don't know, some gay-ass that went to school for 10 years and paid way too much goddamn money and now is completely dead up to their ears and won't be out of it for another 30 years.
I feel like anyone who studies or practices any kind of science could be defined as a scientist.
Well, see, what we're trying to define is what are we considering the sciences, quote unquote. Right?
I know how we do that shit. If you get a degree and it says that they gave you a thing like a degree and then it's a blank of the sciences, that it must be a science. Otherwise, it's a blank of the arts.
Oh yeah.
Because my bitch of a fucking ex-wife has a degree in art.
You know what else she has?
Is
all the furniture.
A new boyfriend? Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah. I mean that'll do it.
And the kids.
And the cat.
Man, she really got the judge over on you.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to the cat and the kids, I mean, like I let her have whatever furniture she wanted, but like I don't know how much
you let her have anything when she started dating the judge.
I would have preferred that she let me have at least partial custody, but
it was interesting that she got both cars too. You would think that would
How'd
be
you
something
keep the
that would
house
split.
though?
There's this thing in Mississippi, where if you get a divorce and then you're like, if your name is on the lease to the deed to the house, then it goes to you unless like they sue you for it. And it's worth it, a certain amount of money. But the house. I mean, like the.
Oh, I get it.
You
you got to keep the house, and she got to keep the equivalent value of shit that you had, and that's why there's basically just the recorder here.
Yeah, that's about right.
Explain why we have to sit on the floor every time.
Yeah.
I don't. Did she leave like even like a chair or something, dude? I don't. I'm sorry. We shouldn't be doing this like on the show, but like
it's okay, man. You were in a coma for a couple of weeks there. I mean, a lot happened in that time.
Everyone gets divorced when they're in a coma.
She told me that if something bad happened to me, that she would stay with me, and she just like you said that she like left like the first day. She stayed at the hospital.
Well, she met that judge.
It looks pretty bad.
At the hospital?
Well, yeah. I mean,
he had ingrown toenail.
I mean, he's an older guy. He's going to be in the hospital more.
Yeah,
he's on his feet a lot.
He's a judge.
Mm-hmm.
Are judges on their feet a lot? He stands.
He is. He's got one of those standing desks. He prefers to stand up
at the
when
podium.
It's because Kira really like didn't like having sex in the bed. She preferred it like up against like walls and stuff. I'd be like,
oh yeah, that dude's got strong legs. Have you seen him in shorts? Like, I'm not gay.
He sent me
a text showing
his ass pops through those robes, dude.
He sent me a text showing me like a picture where they're like obviously having sex, and you can see like both of their feet, and like her ass is pointed to him, and he's like wearing sneakers and like nothing else, so he can like keep traction.
Do you have a copy of that picture? Could you send that to me on my phone
for investigative purposes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I just want to see his bare calves, to be honest. I mean, to make sure that your wife's new boyfriend is hot. I'm sorry. I mean, the sun is yellow, the sky is blue, and your wife's new boyfriend is hot.
My sun is not yellow. Oh, yeah.
The sun. Yes. The sun. The sun. No, your sun is black. But
I know.
What's that meme with like
you're both like white as hell and your son is black? It's like, well, your son, I mean,
I'm glad I can.
Is a strong word.
I'm glad I can. I'm glad I can still cry on command.
Yeah, that was really good. What's that meme where it's like the Native Americans are touching the ground and they're like, "What do you see?" And they're like, "White people have been here. How can you tell?" Cuck porn.
Yeah, cuck porn. Yeah. Well,
There you go.
that might be one of the funniest things you've ever said on this show. Like, I don't know how you don't want to define your, but
Strong word.
strong wording. Your child. I mean, like, yeah.
Oh, possessive pronouns. What do those even mean?
You had vitiligo, like extreme vitiligo. That's
Sure.
all it was. Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Oh, my eyes are still watering. Fuck.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn to do that in theater school? They teach you how to cry on command?
No.
No.
Nope.
They,
I just had to do the what's it called? The Stanislavski method, unfortunately.
It's that's where you like cover your face, isn't it?
No, it's emotional recall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, think of a dead dog.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the
Oh.
best I got.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do too.
Oh.
I mean, like, what is the?
Oh,
what's
I
the
thought you had
alternative?
some. I thought you could just had a switch or something that you'd figured out.
No, you just I mean, you just like
I mean,
act
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
I
I mean,
realist.
think sad thoughts is not.
I got to the
yeah.
point where I
complicated
can.
thing.
I mean, I'm out of practice, but I got to the point where I could switch.
I was just doing. I was just doing like,
'Cause, like-
what if my wife actually left me and fucked a judge, and
It's
I was
like-
like, realistically, that would fuck me up pretty bad.
There's a
Like-
certain position
I
you
mean,
can put
yeah.
your face in where like it's just like you just cry.
Yeah, if you like tense your face up enough, then like you can actually
Like,
like
if-
make yourself start to like really.
Yeah, and like
get
you gotta
that
like
fucked
you
up
have to quiver your lips. I don't know what it is, but the quivering of the lips is like a trigger to the tears.
You
Eric's
gotta
like-
control your breathing too. Like that's part of it. Like kind of.
As a rape victim, I can kind of just think about when when that happened, and that,
I bet
that usually
that's
works.
really good for like making yourself cry.
Yeah, but at the same
like,
time,
you're
like
so lucky that like you have that trauma that you can just cry on
Life
command
is
like
so
that.
easy for you.
The weird part is that I can cry, but I also get a boner. So like
So
it's
you
only
couldn't-
good
you
for
couldn't be a
shots
TV
waist
actor,
up.
is
No,
what you're
no.
saying.
you, Pavlov!
See, I have to think of like just my dead pets or something. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard because I don't have that internal trauma.
I was crying laughing to your like joke of like the guy who raped you goes to your high school and tells everybody you have a huge dick. I like listening to that in editing. I was like face on the table, slamming my hand, crying my eyes out. That was so goddamn funny.
It played good
I'm
when I
glad people
re-listened
don't
to
listen
it.
to this show. I'm glad no one listens to this
I
show.
know, we're
That's not
safe.
true. 30
Yeah.
to 50 people listen to
That's
each
true.
episode.
Is the news about the weather station too local?
No, because they cover all of Northeast Mississippi.
All right, so Eric, you heard about WTVA.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
purging their staff for some fucking
Their
reason.
meteorological staff.
So-
their weather staff.
Yeah,
The
their
ones
entire
who've been great.
Yes. The
Like-
ones that are Emmy Award winning.
The famous.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
famously.
Gay?
So
Oh, yeah, well.
WTVA got bought out by some corporation. I don't remember the CEO's name, but they bought them out, and basically, because we're past the election cycle and whatnot, effectively, what I've been told has happened is this corporation's profits, because they operate on a razor margin. Now that people aren't tuning in for the elections and shit like that, have gone down, obviously.
Yeah.
So, because line has to go up, we're firing the local meteorology team, and now you're going to get your weather from a team based out of a hub in Atlanta, which is covering now like the whole whatever
yeah.
swath.
See, why
of
would-
Well, they
people.
always have been.
Why wouldn't
where
they-
they're replacing them with the Weather Channel. It's just the people from the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
No, not
And
even
so
like a joke.
You're like, oh, that's not as bad. No, it is as bad, and here's why. Because here's the thing about the people around here. They don't fucking trust people who aren't around here.
Also, we have tornadoes where we need somebody who can look at the radars here during a life or death situation
Yeah.
and tell you where the tornado is.
I can think of like 3 times in the last 5 years where I like tuned into like the live broadcast of that
Yeah,
shit.
just to make sure you're not about to die or that you shouldn't like get the
Yeah.
fuck out of where you are.
And it was just like the dude was like giving you step-by-step instructions.
Yeah.
He was just
He'd
like,
be like, yeah,
you
it's going to
know,
be here in 30
And you're not
minutes.
gonna
he
get
was
that
like,
from
if you're in
some
Columbus,
motherfucker-
now's the time to start hunkering down. Like,
Yeah,
go in
you're
your
not going to get
closets
that
now.
from some motherfucker in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he was
they're-
like tracking
they're a
it.
hub.
He was watching it. He was using equipment here and relaying it off of equipment elsewhere. And it was
My
like,
personal take on it is that they're probably going to fire everybody except for Matt Laupon. They're probably going to fire everybody but him because he's an Emmy Award winning. People like him enough to where they'll petition and get mad if
They already
fire
have
him.
change.org. It's on.
I know. So
they can't
I think they're
fire
going
Matt
to.
Lawhon.
I mean, they might.
As of right now, they have.
As of right now, he has an end date to his contract.
That is idiotic.
I know.
So
I think
bad.
they will keep him and have him only for emergency situations. That's my take. I think they will keep him on, and then instead of having the 4 people that do emergency situations, they'll just have. I mean, this conversation
So they're just
sucks.
only
People
gonna call
in this,
him during an
people
emergency?
outside of Mississippi are going to be
you
like.
just said no one watches this. Who cares?
That's true. You're right.
So
Yeah,
okay,
never mind.
y'all know how like the
black
South,
people are monkeys.
Also, that's-
what's another?
That's not that.
that's not-
Elon
that's
Musk
not
is a
it.
Nazi.
No.
Stop.
Nobody listens to this. You just said it.
But the thing about it is, you're wrong because people care about stupid local shit. You know how I know? Because because that one guy, JJ McCullough, got famous for just being like, yeah, Canada stuff. People don't know a lot about Canada. Here's Canada politics.
Matt Lawpon is famous
Who
on
gives a
YouTube.
shit about Canadian politics? A surprising amount of people,
Yeah,
apparently.
of course. People in Canada.
well, there are idiots around here who give a fuck about what happens to the fucking English royal family.
Exactly.
But
That's what I'm saying. People like
That's
to hear
niche,
like.
though. That's niche. Because of the way communication works now. Again, you can fire off on a niche, but that doesn't mean the entire local area actually cares about it. It just means that there's.
I'm not saying the local area cares. I'm saying that the internet at large has this weird thing where they see weird local things like, oh, here's 3 people who had a local thing happen in Mississippi. Weird. I've always wanted to know what's like the local political situation in Mississippi. I want to know. Look, I'm looking up this guy with 30 YouTube subscribers, but he talks about the 2024 Mississippi Senate proposals.
Matt Lawpon is an internet meme. I mean, he's famous on the internet for his guess what happened, John, for that clip.
How is his last name spelled and pronounced?
Laubhaun. It's
Yeah, I mean, he's
Lawpon.
a
I kept thinking it was
C-tier
like
celebrity,
Lawhon.
D-tier
No,
celebrity,
it's
basically.
Lobhon.
Lobhon.
Yeah, but he just says
It's like
Lawbon.
French.
Yeah, he just.
I figured he was
I
French
know
or
the dude
German,
in
one or the
person.
other.
I've met him. I've heard him say his own name. He says Lawbon.
Yeah.
Lobhon.
Yeah.
Lawbon.
He's just like I
He's
don't
like
know.
a C-tier celebrity.
Lobhon.
Yeah, he's like he's an Emmy Award winning guy. He
And
has
just, if you're listening
won-
at home, all 20 to 50 of you,
yes.
the reason why this matters at all to us is because you
He
see all
saved our lives.
the stereotypes of tornadoes ravaging the trailer parks and whatnot. Well, they also start before and continue after the trailer parks, so that means all of us are actually in pretty great
yeah, if a
danger
tornado
during
hits
storm
any
seasons.
building here, it doesn't matter what building. If you get a direct hit by an 𝑹𝒆𝒊𝒈𝒊𝒐𝒏 tornado, you're fucked. I mean, you need to not be in the path of it at all.
Yeah, several years back, the entire town of Smithville just got wiped
Yeah,
off the map
absolutely.
basically in an afternoon.
Yeah. That was absolutely fucked.
And the trick is they're unpredictable. Even if you see a tornado or something like that, it could go through your town and be really specific about what it destroys, like one little thing here, etc. Or it could just put its blade against the ground and drag it through the whole city. You don't know.
During the last bad tornado in Tupelo, there was a girl and a guy who went into a massive church. And they went to the basement of the church because that was where it's safest in a tornado. And they had either that option or go outside. Still, bad news, tornado hit the church. The whole church collapses. The basement collapses on top of them.
Oh, no.
And the guy dies holding his hands and knees up to keep the girl from dying below him.
Wow.
And he died that way.
Damn.
And the so there's not, it doesn't matter how big the building you're in is or if you're in the basement. You can still die in the basement. The number one thing is to not be in front of it. And the only way you're not going to be in front of it is if Matt's ass is on television telling you where it's going and to not be
Or,
there.
be 10 feet underground.
Yeah, being 10 feet underground
if you're
does help.
10 feet underground in
Concrete
4-inch
shelter.
Yeah, in a tornado shelter.
Did I just say shelter?
Shelter.
In a fucking shelter. It's
if
like a
you're,
Pokemon.
You're in a steel and concrete
Shelter,
box
shelter.
7 feet underground, then yeah. We have those too, but they're a little on the expensive side.
Patrick,
and
put up some
we
Rule
don't all
34 of
have them.
Sheltra, thank you.
What is
Sheltra?
What even is Rule 34 shelter?
Rule 34. Is there a character named Sheltra that me and Will are
There's a
unaware
few
of?
close enough. I'm sure that if I get on that Pokemon Combine website and then combine a
says
few
it's
Pokemon.
full
It's all just
thing.
Fallout
You think it goes-
Shelter
You think it
hentai.
goes Sheltra, or it goes Shasha?
Ooh, no, Shelter.
Shelter.
Shelter is scarier. It's like a ghost water Pokemon.
Okay.
It's scary for sure. You see that shit underground, you get that shit fucks you up.
Shelter? What is this, like
Sheltra. Sheltra.
is that a real Pokemon?
No, it just
What the
sounds like it would be one.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be like
Enough to where you were like, is that a real one? No, it's not, but it definitely sounds like it could be.
It would definitely have to be like another type of turtle.
How lazy were they just to call the crab
Sheltra.
Krabby? That's like Pokemon have some like wild ass names.
Yeah.
And then one of them's just Krabby.
Well, sometimes the more wild names are only wild because they couldn't think of a good translation and just kept the other name.
Yeah.
Its real name is Yellow Hands McBigfeet.
yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and that's Electabuzz.
Pokemon,
you know, we
Pokemon
called it
names are fucking
Electabuzz,
weird.
but in Japanese it comes out to be like Yellow Hands and Big Feet. Like,
mean,
that's what it like. Or it means plug.
Ponyta, Shelder. Like, a lot of them are really lazy in the first gen. They just didn't even fucking try.
It's like
And I'd
it's like a
fuck like
dinosaur with like a bulb on its back. It's
Damn, you could be
it's
a
a Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
you could be a 4Kids voice actor.
And I'd fuck like 100 out of the 151 too. I mean,
We went
not
over
Jinx,
this.
not Jinx, not Jinx. Just to make
Racist.
it. No, I just don't. You know,
I see how it is.
I'm just. They're all women.
No to Whoopi
And
Goldberg.
I don't-
No to Jinx. I see it.
Yeah,
I
they're
get
both
it.
women. I'm not into it. It has a little bit to do with the other thing, but mostly because they're women.
What about Hitmonchan?
Oh, absolutely. He's got that fighter's figure. He's got them.
No,
stretchy
he's
arms.
he's still a little bit too brown.
He would jump the shit out of you.
He would jump the shit. I mean, like Hitmon.
He'd
You know
make you
Hitmonchan
love
or
it.
Hitmonlee guy? You Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee guy? That's that question that everybody has an
I like
answer to.
Hitmonchan.
Really?
More,
You
yeah.
Hitmonchan? I'm a
Hitmon
Hitmonlee.
top.
Hitmontop? Hitmontop's gay.
Nah, no one
Hitmontop's
who
like,
likes Hitmonchan.
See, he's
just-
still
he's a-
racist. He doesn't like the capoeira. I see how it is.
yeah.
It's constant racism.
He's too
here.
Brazilian for me. That's my problem. Nah, he represents the lesser races. I can't get behind that. That's
That's all Brazilian and African.
Patrick's
you know.
always hating a brother.
I need a good Aryan Pokemon. like
Aryan
Raichu.
martial arts, not this mongrel
like
martial arts.
Arceus.
What is the Aryan Pokemon?
I
say-
the
is
most Aryan Pokemon.
You know, what is the most Aryan Pokemon? Is it Zapdos?
Is it Persian?
Ooh,
No, what's
Persian's
that,
pretty Aryan Pokemon.
What's that dog that looks like a Doberman or whatever?
Oh,
'Cause
Houndoom.
Houndoom. Yeah. Houndoom. Just
No,
in-
that's
in-
a fascist SS animal. That doesn't make it Aryan. Aryan's very different.
Aryans own
Ooh,
them, but it's not necessarily the most Aryan
Is
Pokemon.
Arcanine the Aryan Pokemon?
No, but what
Okay.
about Arceus?
300 years from now, people find all the Pokemon. They think they're actual mythological beings that people worshipped at one point. The Nazis are real again. We've got fascist Reich
my
ass
God.
shit. Which one are they putting on the tablet and putting above
Do
the
you know
Führer's
why
throne?
that's weirdly
Ooh.
plausible?
Hold on.
Because that's how humanity works?
No, stop.
Yeah.
Because one day
see that.
archaeologists are going to be going through the layer of plastic that is our time
The
period.
layer of plastic.
And they're going to find...
He's so right.
He's out of line, but he's not wrong.
The company that I work for right now, they're doing like they're digging up to like build a building or something, and they were like, yeah, we got down to like the sediment, this like white clay that Mississippi has, and you can't put a building on it, so they're having to dig all that up and move it, and then replace it with good dirt. In the future, that's gonna be people digging down and be like, yeah, no, there's just a layer of plastic.
Yeah.
there's Teflon down there.
Yeah,
to be honest
sorry.
with you.
It shifts with the temperature.
we think back in the day, this is where they dumped all their used
Oh
plastic.
my God. Yeah.
No, but like once they get down there,
This is where they sacrifice their idols.
We'll be the
they're
plastic
they're gonna-
age, dude. They will look at
Yes.
us and be like, we're talking about early to late plastic age.
yes, they're gonna find that 2001 like gold Mewtwo.
Just Mew. It was just Mew.
Oh,
the
that-
tablet.
but yeah, the tablet.
Yeah.
And they're gonna find that, and that's gonna be like, oh, this is the thing they worship in
Yeah.
the plastic age.
Everybody kept it, and they had it hanging around their necks
Yeah.
on necklaces.
Oh my god.
Or kept it in their pockets. You know, it was just like what the Catholics used to have back in the medieval area called icons. We believe that this is their version of such a thing.
Somehow Christianity died away, and it was replaced by this singular Mew figure.
Yeah, Christianity dies out. They're just like, well, what's next, boys? Well, let's be honest. We all like Pokemon. We all grew up with Pokemon. And everybody goes, yep. Mm-hmm. I reckon we all get ourselves some red and white and blue hats and a white and blue vest and carry around some red balls and whatnot.
All of this at like country Baptist church where they've like
all right,
taken down like the Christ stuff and put up like Pokemon
what is the name
paraphernalia.
of the what is the name of it's like the Council of Nicaea, but they're all rednecks. It's just the redneck Baptist minister version of the Council of Nicaea. There's like
and they're all
700
arguing
what
about
would that be?
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think Shiny should be worshipped as the saint. You're crazy.
You're crazy. Only 151 Pokemon. This is heresy.
One guy
We
gets
have
up
to
and just
assume that
the rest were
9,000.
made up by heretics.
yeah, the Saint Nicholas ass fucking redneck gets
Punches
up, just
him.
punches the guy in the face.
You have to include the 1,000.
Yeah. And, everybody gets up and claps for killing
It's
the
like
heretic.
you have to include all
I
8
refuse
generations.
to live in a world where I can't worship Lugia. And you can't make me.
I like how this is probably like 500 years in the future, and the redneck accent has taken over as the general English accent, and we're not speaking Chinese
Throw
either.
the low punny at the stake.
To be fair,
Yeah, it's low punny's like their Satan analog.
a lot of
It's
English,
the one that tempts you.
a lot of English
Some
speaking
Beelzebub
foreigners
dialogue.
will default to a southern accent when trying to do American because it's more pronounced.
Yeah,
And
country,
they can't
Texas
do neutral
specifically.
American accents. It's too
Yeah.
hard for them.
They go, I would like a hamburger, please.
Yeah, they go for
Yeah.
Texas usually.
Yeah, they do.
Or,
Which, to be fair,
funnily enough, the Midwestern with the
oh yeah, where they sound like they're kind of like from Michigan or something. They sound
Yeah.
like they're in fucking
Oh,
Fargo.
I'm
little bit of that there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, why don't you try some of this
northern
casserole? That's a little. I can't do a Midwestern.
That'd be
I just
what
realized
the
that was like
nuns would
Scottish
sound
almost.
like in this universe.
I've got like
How do you do a Midwestern accent? Oh,
I've
be
got-
careful with this.
I've got like family from Chicago and Michigan, so I know the northern accent.
Well, what you do, Will, is you go,
Be careful.
no, what you start out to do the accent, you go, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, there, and you put it all up in your nose there.
Yeah.
All up in-
all up in your nose there.
all up in your nose
You
there.
almost go Irish with it.
Yeah, you almost go Irish, and you go, oh yeah, no, it's yeah.
Well, it's like
yeah.
Canadian to a certain extent because super far north, U.S. people tend to sound kind of Canadian. Like the Wisconsin accent, it
Yeah.
just kind of seems like an offshoot of Canadian.
What would the Pokemon Saint of Women be? Because I mean, we've Jinx. They all dress like Jinx and like paint their face.
Oh
black.
no!
Yeah. It's such a dead art form by the next 500 years that nobody
They don't
realizes.
know. They're just dressing
Yeah.
up.
No, they're just
They're
just-
honoring the gods.
Yeah,
They're not being
exactly.
racist.
They don't know, dude.
They don't know.
Yeah, they just walk around with
I mean,
giant
to be
red
fair,
lips.
by that point, we'll have all amalgamated into like one
Yeah, they're
massive
brown.
human race.
Yeah, they're like
all just
brown
light
gray.
brownish.
Yeah.
Some are darker, some are lighter, but it's just kind of seen as normal
Yeah,
variation.
darkening your skin is kind of like a fetish thing to them. There's not any black people anymore.
Yeah, and nor are there any super white people, so also pale people.
Well,
are a
no, there
fetish.
will be super white people, but they'll all be in space as they left earlier.
They'll be on
to-
Mars.
Yeah, they
All the
left
normal white
earlier. All the
people are on
oligarchs
Mars.
Oh my
are
god!
gone.
Did you guys see that?
They kicked out all the Saudis.
There's some kind of there's a movie. We gotta watch it, but it's some kind of B movie
Okay.
where
We already watched the B movie. He just refuses to finish editing it.
No, I'm not. I haven't even started. Thank you.
There you go.
Finish editing my ass.
Yeah, he won't finish editing Shrek. That's why he
Yeah,
won't.
because I don't want to finish it if there's not going to be an animated bit at the end. I wanted
Well,
that.
then move on
we
to the B
set
movie.
That animation up We set everything, all that up, and it's not happening. And I'm like, well, whatever. Either I die unfulfilled or I get money enough to pay somebody to animate the end of the Shrek video.
The Shrek video will be the end of Patrick's life.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll be 80 years old and be like, I finally have enough money to put into the Shrek video.
And then he clicks upload and then immediately grabs his revolver and blows his brains out on the computer screen.
No, even better. I immediately grab my revolver and can't lift it to my head and then go, oh, and just slowly slump down and die. I was going to take my own way out, but God wouldn't let me have it.
He wouldn't even let you have that.
Yeah.
And then as you're sitting there, you see the bar going like to upload. It's like 99%, and that says error. Please re-upload.
My eyes are shutting out. Oh.
No!
Yeah. 10,000 years in the
cat
future.
jumps on the keyboard. It says all deleted.
10,000 years in the future, they reanimate me, and I wake up like, no! Like, oh man, he must have died some horrible death.
The Shrek video!
No! The Shrek video! Yeah. No.
They have to
that is-
reanimate you in your 30s, of course.
Yeah, that's how I want to go. That's how I want to go. that's how I want to die.
Taking your last breath on a failed upload of a Shrek
You know,
video
Do you think?
that you were trying to make 50 years prior.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
That's the way to
40K,
go.
You guys are long dead. You guys have been dead for
Oh yeah, I'm
30
gonna die
years.
of lung cancer in
Yeah.
like 20 years.
Do you think
yeah.
in 40K they dig up dead bodies and make them into servitors?
The whole thing
They
is that
don't
they
need
can't,
to.
right? They can't, like, because like servitors have to be
They
pious or
gotta,
something.
they gotta be able to.
They have to have a working
brain.
brain.
Yeah.
Oh, do they? They have to
Yeah.
have a working brain.
Because they can't like.
There's
be
no
machine
abominable
mind.
intelligence
You can't use a
in the
machine
Imperium
mind.
of Man.
So, like for instance, like a targeting
Now, a
computer
lobotomized
would just be like
human
a brain in
being-
the jar, and the brain is doing math, and then like it would
Yeah.
output. The
Basically, instead of
solution.
computer chips or things like that, they just lobotomize humans and use their brains as processors.
pretty much.
The second episode of Space King was so goddamn funny. No, we went over this last time, didn't we?
I like the titty
All
shaking.
of them are funny.
Yeah, the titties.
That's the first
I liked
episode.
I liked the fucking the Blood Ravens like fucking Legion throwing up the blood hand sign.
Yeah.
Say
Oh my
be pot.
God.
Every time they made a blood pun, they'd throw up the blood hand sign. Flash
Admittedly,
kids are so goddamn funny,
They're
dude.
the
really
darkest part of my soul giggled
Oh, I bet you're happy.
disturbingly loud every time the child got injured.
Every time the child came back with more mechanical parts.
Dude, I
Yeah.
bet you're so happy.
Mm.
Fulgrim's getting more content.
Yeah, I know. Weirdly, because they only did that in fantasy for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Now they're like,
Wait.
Fulgrim's the
The Primarchs exist in the fantasy part?
No.
No, but kind of.
No.
They were, yes. Yeah.
I was about to say,
yeah.
I thought
They
that
did.
I know that they're not
Primarchs.
technically in full continuity, but they're in like loose continuity with
They're
each
not
other.
Fantasy in the
That's
fantasy.
also
They're
not
just,
true anymore.
They're just chaos.
That stopped
legionnaire
being true
commanders.
at the end of fantasy and the start of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
They're no longer technically connected,
That's
other than like IP
Damn.
and like it being two warps.
I mean, yeah, because like I was playing Warhammer Total War the other day, and I'm playing as the lizard people, and we're trying to
think
make
the
sure
orc-
things are cool with the old ones, and like we're fighting against
Yeah.
the forces of chaos.
They
and it's
use
like-
some names interchangeably, but the problem is GW retconned all
Here's
that.
Fulgrim in the fantasy. Like, he exists. He's just kind of like a chaos demon prince thing.
No, I
that's-
thought that was his old model.
It is. I mean, like, yeah.
Nah,
it
not
is.
from fantasy. I thought that was like its 30K model because they came out with
No.
a 30K game.
Looks like
They
it
even
could
made
be a
another
meter.
one after that.
Oh, okay.
And he looks like this.
I hate that the 30K stuff isn't interchangeable with the 40K stuff.
Yeah,
too.
they
Well,
didn't
you
want
know,
people to be able to do
profit.
that because profit. Yeah, line must go up.
That's
You know,
horseshit,
Will,
though.
when it comes to capitalism, I'm in this staunch support of capitalist imperialism until they get to my 40K and my plastic toys.
Yeah.
They can't be trying to
my
make
voice-
mine
We had
go
to
up.
draw a
My
line
voice is
somewhere.
I gotta-
going
yeah.
out. Can you tell my voice is slowly just starting
Yeah,
to
I
die?
can tell. I mean,
wanna know
you're
something?
slowly starting to die. It's not really just your voice, but
You want to know something crazy?
got that good
Considering
vocal fry.
my voice has been like a marketable skill I've used since like high school.
you've used your voice as a marketable skill.
Mm-hmm.
How much money did that make you?
$5.
About $500.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Since high school,
Well,
that's
my
what?
voice has got
that's
me.
not a lot.
$50
I mean,
a year.
That's 20 years.
You got to rely on your
That's 20
voice.
years,
I
sir.
had to rely on my throat.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hey,
behind certain
in Hollywood,
Wendy's.
you end up using one or the other. Anyway, I digress.
Some people use their face, some people use their throat, some people use their, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, so,
Just wherever, when he says open wide or I'm about to finish, you got to make a decision, a split-second decision.
All I know is he said, "You want to be a star, right?"
Yeah. I wish that the guy who raped me would have given me like some fucking jobs in in like movies as like payment for that.
if only
that
there
would have
been a
actually worked
connection
out.
outside of Uranus.
Yeah, exactly. See, if I had been raped, you wouldn't hear me complain one goddamn bit if I was raped by Epstein
This
or
is
what's his
conversation in
name.
bad taste because I saw a YouTube video earlier today where someone was talking about people have been interviewing the Booty Warrior, the man that the Booty Warrior was
yeah.
based on, who just recently got out of prison after
Oh, did he?
raping hundreds of men in prison. I'm not
Yes,
sure why
yeah,
he
yeah.
got out, but
Well,
pretty sure that's still technically
it's just
a
a
crime.
standard thing that
But,
happens in prison that everybody just kind of goes, "Yep, that's gonna happen," because it's consensual. Because they'll beat your ass if you don't consent.
The prison system is so fucked. And
Yeah.
like I've even
Very literally.
I've gone on record so many times saying I don't care how much of a hellhole it technically is for the prisoners, but like, what the fuck? They're not supposed to be in any kind of control.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Well, they're in control over
are
each
they?
other. They're not really in control over anything that isn't each other.
They shouldn't really have that either.
That's one of those things where I'm like, you got to go to. I want to go to prison and be a kingpin.
I
in
kind of like
prison,
Japanese prisons in that way, where everyone behaves constantly, or else.
Yeah, or else they will kill you. They will.
I'm
They
kind
will
of
kill
fine
you.
with that.
Yeah, it's.
Like, I think it should be more like that. Like, because right now, it's just okay.
it's because
as
they
I
don't
said,
have guns
it
in
being
Japan.
unpleasant.
They
So we do have guns, but
So
we can't
we-
get them to do right.
No. When something bad happens, the temptation to just kill them is too high in America. In Japan, they're like, well, we'll just break all their bones.
What?
And that's how you get people to listen
No,
to you.
the problem in America is
a
if
dead
you
man can't learn,
Don't
Eric.
stop listening.
You
to
beat a
Patrick.
man with a
Japan is
nightstick.
harsher
The-
on its criminals.
Yeah,
The problem with
a
America
nightstick.
is
They're
if we
harsher with the beating. Spare the rod, Eric.
Foil the
Spare
felon?
Exactly.
No,
See?
The thing is in America we make a lot of profit off our prisoners. So if you kill them, we're not making profit anymore. What are you talking about?
Well, that
Also, there's
I don't
far
care
less
about.
Japanese prisoners in general. So
Well,
they're kind
sure.
of like, we're all
A
in
little
here.
easier
There's,
to control.
there's the 90
I
of
feel
us
like
in
the
a
whole
100-mile radius.
We have something like 25% of the world's.
That's what you
prison
told me.
The
population.
whole point of arresting them and putting in
Oh,
them
I smell
in
like
prison.
shit, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, you do.
Damn.
Well, I mean, please put your arm back down.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm tearing up here, but
Yeah.
yeah,
To
like
each their own.
isn't the whole point of prison then us arresting them and putting them in a fucking box that we're supposed to now have control over them?
Well, we do
Like-
have slave-like control over them, but
We have literal slave-like control.
Yeah,
You read
so, I
the
mean,
13th Amendment.
but are you
How
under the
come they're
impression?
sitting in there doing whatever the fuck they want? Like, how come they're like getting up to all this shit?
Yeah,
in the
why
meantime?
didn't the black slaves picking cotton have a hierarchy where there was like one guy that was out there holding another one's pocket, and then a
I'm
few
sure-
that had their
I'm
like
sure
pants
there
all the
was
way
some,
down?
Some
to,
plantation somewhere where like a guy was like, "Hey, give me that hog snout or
Yeah,
whatever."
I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that there were shit. I'm sure that there were slaves who were also assholes.
you
yes.
my bottom bitch now.
yeah.
You gonna pick the cotton for me?
Yeah,
yeah,
Hold
yeah.
my damn pocket, bitch! Don't you let go of that shit.
Something the far right has to learn is that,
Killing
all
people is
races
okay.
and cultures are equal. Something the far left has to learn is that they're all also equally fucking assholes. Like, there are bad people in every single subgroup of human. Why? Because humans can be bad.
I was thinking
Gay
yesterday.
people are good and bad.
I was thinking yesterday, how much do you think that it corrupts our political system and our politicians? The fact that they are generally more, like all of them. I'm just going to say all of them because they have to be, and I understand that this is a necessary thing. They have to be upper class because
Don't have to be.
they do because
Nope.
they do. I'm serious. Like I understand because in the world that we live in, they have to be able to afford travel. in the amount that they do. So a senator or a congressman, they have to travel so much that they basically spend $100,000 on travel a year.
I want to caveat that saying that you said in the world we live on is doing a lot of weightlifting there.
Yeah, but due to what they have to do for a job, where they travel from their state to DC to wherever for all of these things, and that they are not reimbursed for that except for like by being upper class.
But we don't have to do that. We have technology where like you could just send literally an email, text, or anything of the equivalency. You know, whatever.
We could do that eventually,
Okay.
sure,
You
but
could do
it's
that
not.
today.
So, hold on, because there is you're both making points, but there's a point I think we're obviously missing in the center here. So the people who run things generally are more affluent and have more resources, correct?
What I'm
Like-
yes,
wait,
what
wait.
I'm saying is they have to be that kind of by the way that the system is designed currently.
Well, also there's no way, like, if poor people ran everything, if the poor and disenfranchised ran things, then they would have the resources and would become the ruling class and the rich.
No, they wouldn't, because we don't pay senators or congressmen enough to actually do their job.
The
There's
job
a
of
reason
senator
that
or
these
congressman
people.
isn't like, that's just a power brokerage kind of
No,
thing.
I'm
Like,
talking about just based on travel. They need to have at least 2 homes that they can swap and fly and drive between regularly, depending on how far, how near they are to Washington, D.C. I did a lot of research on this.
Mhm.
So, like, the people who end up being congressmen or senators or the president are generally people who are already independently wealthy,
Yes.
because the job pay for that position doesn't actually reimburse them that much for the amount of money that they spend doing their job. So the independently wealthy are the ones who can already afford to campaign, and then after winning that campaign, do the job and pay for the travel that it requires. So it ends up being these rich, affluent, high upper class people who rule things because they're the only ones who can even do the job and pay for it, because they have to pay for a lot of shit themselves. So how much do you think that corrupts our systems, because those people are just so they have no street smarts. They
Well-
don't understand that, like, you know, there are good and bad people or anything, or they're, you know, like they might end up being like a Nazi or something, and like an absolute racist who was raised by their grandfather who was in World War II, and he thinks all Krauts are evil or something. And, you know, maybe you get one or
You
two
said
of those
like,
guys.
what if they're insulated? Is what you're
yeah,
saying.
they're so insulated. How much do you
I-
think that really affects?
Well, I think you are seeing that like today, and that you're right. I kind of, just to spout though, I think you're right generally with what you're saying, in that, yeah, if you have a system where like the rich people are the only ones able to be in elected power because
they have to spend so
They're-
much money to be in elected power.
Which I will say, I don't think, again, the caveat of what you said earlier of in the system that we currently have.
where you have to show up at Congress in person and sit at a desk, you know, and like,
Yeah, okay. But like, where I think what you're missing in this, and I don't know what you said you were going to bring up in the obvious missing part, but what I think you're missing is I don't think it has to cost that much at all.
well, people don't trust technology enough to do this.
Even when
not
if
in
they have
person.
to have 2 houses and whatnot, like I don't think, like, the reason that I know about that we pay senators, for example, like $800,000 whatever dollars, isn't because they need that money to travel or to have 2 houses. They get that kind of stuff either pro bono from the lobbyists who are giving them the money to lobby them, or they get that from just
Wait, what?
from government.
How do you think lobbyists work? I'm sorry. What? How are they getting money from lobbyists?
The way politicians get money from lobbyists is that lobbyists tend to give them gifts, and it's not necessarily just monetary amounts.
I've
It's-
worked in a company that has a lobbyist. Like, the only thing that our lobbyist has ever
Lobbyists
You're
given
going to have to
somebody who are already
explain to me
elected.
how Clarence Thomas got all the gifts and stuff he's gotten from corporations and different types
That's
of
from
groups and
business
political
people.
interest.
That's from business people, and that's
I
not
thought
generally from the
lobbyists
lobbyist.
I thought lobbyists were people who told politicians business people's interest.
Basically, but lobbyists, when they buy people stuff, like politicians stuff for free, I've seen this. I've been around. I've seen it happen. Generally, if your lobbyist is buying something for you, it's usually like a $600 dinner. You know, like the lobbyist is never going to buy somebody a speedboat. That's going to be the CEO who uses the tax loophole of he can actually give up to $100,000 as a gift.
Then
to
fair
someone.
enough, not lobbyists, but the business, the business,
the corporations,
guy. And basically what you said happens is that they become insulated.
Yeah, they don't have street smarts. They don't understand how people who go to prison live their lives in the first place, and they don't know what like life in prison is like. So why should they be able to dictate or like not should they be able to? They should be able to. It should be their job. But how much can we trust somebody in that position to decide on policy for prisoners?
They're nobles.
Yeah, like they don't know.
Like,
they've never been to prison. They've never stepped foot in a prison. They have no idea.
Every government ever see like 'cause the more you guys keep describing this, my brain's like looking at it, I'm like, well, wait. No, because modern government. But then the elect.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, they are
I was
nobles.
like, wait, no,
every
it's
country in the
always
world,
nobles.
every government,
No
every single
government
time has
isn't-
nobles.
Yeah, all governments forever have always been run by nobles.
Yeah, everyone has a nobility.
There is no position in the government that's filled by a non-noble.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the idea.
The forest ranger isn't a noble. The police officer isn't a noble.
No, those are
The fucking comptroller for your local fucking town
DMV.
probably isn't
no,
fucking noble, but
depending on the ideological viewpoint of that. A Marxist, for example, would call the cop, the ranger, all that who work for the state. They would call them like
cronies,
class traders or thugs, basically.
Yeah, unless the government is already like socialist, and then they
Thank
would be
God
like
when the socialist government came in, there were no government thugs going around.
Yeah, I was gonna
making
say. I
life
mean, like
worse
there
for
are.
people.
They'll just be a different. They'll be like good, upstanding citizens or something.
Doesn't
in a
really
socialist
matter what
environment.
the,
Well, the idea-
philosophy is of the man.
Depends what
with
they're
his boot
holding
on your
up
neck.
and what they're keeping
No,
people from.
the idea is that the difference would be that
I can't breathe.
within a communist government, or within a socialist government, I should more accurately say, I guess, is that because it's a workers' dictatorship or workers' council proletariat, however you want to interpret it, basically, is that the police are working or the class is the same class, or they're working for the working class.
Yeah.
Where in a bourgeoisie dictatorship that we're currently in, they're not working for our class, they're working for the petty bourgeoisie class, or just the plain out bourgeoisie class.
Police always start out that way. They always start out as protect and serve in every class structure and in every government. And then they're slowly corrupted as the people in power, regardless of what the power structure is, become more and more corrupted by the power that corrupts ultimately.
Well, it's like the local good old boy cops and whatnot, where they'll be like, there's like the good old boy system where they actually are more invested in like local shit and whatnot and the community. But the problem is now you just have corruption on a small scale level.
Yeah, where they're just going to let their brother off.
Whoever's their buddy or whatever go and
Yeah, whoever is also a Freemason, they'll ask them if they want the car totaled.
So what, do you want large scale corruption or small scale corruption? Pick a flavor.
You either get Tremont or you get
Do you want them
Communist
to
China.
be like say racist words racist, or do you want them to be like systemically
To be
racist?
fair, the United States fucked over communist China pretty hard with embargoes too. I mean, like Maoist communist China could have worked, but big surprise, the CIA
Could have worked.
and the
Hey,
United
man,
States.
still
They
working.
hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
the C-
I'm just
I don't know what
the
you mean,
United
like,
States put their boats around them and said, "You ain't getting anything in trade," and then people starved to death. Big surprise.
Yeah, well,
and people in America.
capitalism and communism decided to have massive irrational hate boners for
dude.
each other instead of just
People can't get along on,
buying
like, a
and trading
political
with
idea.
each other.
And that's just because they're nobles again. That's
Yeah.
just because they're nobles again, and they
'Cause
don't
want their power
understand.
and we want our power.
They
and-
don't understand that the decisions that they make, and they'll never realize or see that the decisions that they make affect people on a small scale. Like if it just doesn't even occur to them. They have so much money that if bread goes from $1.50 to $7, that means nothing to them. And then for people who make $30,000 a year, that's a huge deal.
It's like when someone asked Bill Gates how much a bottle of water costs. He said, like, I don't know. He said something. And
it was pizza rolls. And he said, I don't know, $120.
Yeah.
And
it's like, dude, there's 120 pizza rolls in there.
Yeah.
Do you think they each cost $1?
It's
like
the noble structure, and then having people like that decide. What got me on this was because of Japan. And like the way that their jails work. And I was like, I wonder what's the difference? What's the difference? I mean, their nobles make the decision too, obviously. They even still have an emperor.
The difference is it's all a fucking facade, and
Maybe
you're always going to be taken advantage of by like more powerful people.
No, I mean their jail systems. Why do their prisons work so much better? Is it literally just because there's less people? Is it because they as a culture have more respect for each other?
It cannot be
is it because
as
they're
simple as there's less people, because while there are less, Japan is stupidly dense population-wise.
Is it because they have anime over there and that just keeps everybody's hearts lifted, and you can buy lolicon from the gas station down the street?
Let's also remember that the Japanese justice
can buy
system
Shotokan too. You're right.
And buy used panties out of vending machines.
That actually is no longer
right there.
legal.
If nothing would stop the revolution, that will.
The one
that right there. That's why the jails over there are so polite. They're like, when I get out of here, I know what I'm doing.
The one gross place in Japan that had that, after it got
You've
widely
said
publicized,
this before, and I've
got
told
rid of
you
it.
before, they put them back. They exist again, and there's not just one anymore. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because it became such a niche, funny thing for people to have.
Fair,
that people who run porn websites and run like porn companies were just like, yeah, after you're done shooting porn today, give me your underwear and we'll put it in one of the vending machines.
Gross.
And that works. And people buy them because dumb Americans go over there and then they buy the thing because it's funny. Or, biker gangs and shit. They just like, it'd be very funny if I bought you some used panties. It's just gag gifts. It's gag gifts by another name that you can get in front of the gas station for your mom. Ooh, has anybody ever done that over there?
Gotten hookers used panties for my mother?
For like a woman. Like a woman's.
I've never given any woman
in
used
Japan.
panties.
Do you think anybody in Japan has been sent on an errand to buy underwear for their girlfriend?
Pause.
The only
even,
time-
no. Even better hypothetical. You're a prostitute. Your client comes to you with the vending machine used panties. He says to you, I want you to wear these before, like, as foreplay before we do it.
I asked, does he want them on my legs or on my head? Because I've seen enough hentai to know that they can go both.
But are you charging more for the head?
I've already got underwear on. Well, no, I don't. I'm a prostitute, so
Yeah.
probably not. So, I charge him over the... Yeah, absolutely. I'm charging more for the head. I'm a capitalist at heart. I'm a prostitute.
I mean,
That's what
charge
prostitutes
it more
are,
for
right?
the use of props. If you're bringing something with a
Prostitutes
specific
are
request,
entrepreneurs, right? They've got the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what prostitutes are.
kind of depends
Not
on
really,
the
because, like-
environment. I suppose, because some sex workers do have autonomy and some are just ruthlessly being used.
I don't
just
think you would
depends.
typically, or like, I don't know, it just depends on, I don't think typically you look as a single person doing a thing. Like, I don't think you consider like one artist an entrepreneur, but if that one artist made owned a factory producing a lot of art,
are entrepreneurs.
maybe then we start to like, maybe this guy's looking at being an entrepreneur. Yeah, pimps are kind of entrepreneurs in this scenario. Yeah.
Look, drug
Pimps and
dealers
drug
are
dealers are entrepreneurs.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
I
hell
mean,
yeah.
You sell something, you make a
Kind
business.
of.
It doesn't matter. if it's
Door-to-door
legal.
sales.
But in that same way of like they are exploiting a bunch of workers trying to make a living.
Yeah,
yes.
you guys ever go to like a pyramid scheme interview? You ever
Wait,
been to
wait,
one of
wait.
those?
Before you go that way, I will say that the only time I think I have ever given used panties to a woman is after the two of us had sex and I pick them up off the floor.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
give
say you
back
pick
to
them up
her.
and give them back to her. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
that's really the only time.
It'd be funnier if you picked up some other panties and gave them to her, and she just looks at them
like
like
in Will's scenario.
and they're
here,
like way too big. They're just fucking massive.
it's like, oh, sorry, those are mine.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No. Sorry, those are. Don't worry about those. Just like push them under the bed with your
I'm
foot.
not allowed to have
Apparently,
silk pressed against
yeah.
my penis.
Apparently they're gonna raid Chicago with ice.
Yeah, Chicago, New York, Dallas, Los Angeles, and there was a lot of them.
I don't
Trying to
know.
remember all of them. They're raiding like 12 different cities with ICE.
Crazy.
And India is ready to repatriate 118,000 illegal immigrants to avoid having tariffs.
Well.
Which I was like, God damn, it works. Some of Trump's like executive order shit. I mean, he obviously just went in there day one and scared the shit out of a bunch of countries. Some guy went up and said to the UN Council, get ready to spend more on defense because Trump ain't fucking helping us anymore. He left the WHO.
I'll tell you something, dude. I'll tell you something right now. I don't like Trump. I'm not on his like team or anything like that. If that man could actually make it to where I never had to speak to another Indian telephone operator.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He might just get my vote.
Yeah.
He can't. Well, he can't. He's
I
on
mean,
his
he
second.
can't now.
Yeah.
But
The weird
like,
part about this was I was watching him do, he passed 100 executive orders in his first day in office today.
Yeah, something like that.
And I thought to myself immediately, holy shit, somebody became the president and then actually immediately did everything they said they were going to do.
I know.
he did pass a
Pretty crazy.
lot of executive
That's
orders.
like, I was like, he's doing literally everything he said he's going to do during his campaign, and that is the first time I've ever heard of a president doing that in my life.
Especially on day one.
Day one.
That is
He said he'd be a fucking dictator day one, and
Bold.
he damn near is for real. Dude showed up and said, I'm getting rid of birthright citizenship.
said he was
Fuck
gonna-
the 14th Amendment.
Apparently, he said he's going to wait. Yeah, a million states sued him.
Yeah, of
over
course,
that.
immediately, because it's against the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, fuck. What was I going to say?
One of his executive orders.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, he was going to wait. He's going to wait till February 1st, apparently, before he tariffs
Yeah, he's going to let people come
Canada
to him.
and whoever the other person was.
Yeah, he's going to let them come to him and be like, please don't. What do we have to do?
Yeah.
That's literally his plan. That is his plan for everything. Write some executive order that scares the shit out of everyone and then go, oh, yeah, I guess we better get up there and talk to him, huh? He's serious.
Well,
He kept TikTok from being banned for 75 days.
Yeah, now they have to
be honest, I
sell
still do
50% of ownership to a U.S. person.
And what was the thing that he blocked for 90 days?
I thought that was
he
the TikTok
blocked
ban.
something?
No, he blocked. Yeah, he blocked.
He blocked a. Okay, never mind.
No, he blocked
thinking he,
something
like,
else.
banned-
Oh,
from
foreign
being-
aid. It was
Foreign aid. Yeah, he stopped all foreign aid to everywhere.
Yeah.
all at once for 90 days.
He said anyone getting any money from the U.S. outside of the U.S.
no one's getting
fuck off.
anything, not just money. Foreign aid. That means no doctors.
Yeah.
That means no technicians.
People who are relying on U.S. like money for food.
That means
nothing.
Starlink.
Yeah.
That means nothing.
Nothing.
No American aid to anyone
a
for
private
90
business
days.
can still do what they want outside.
Yeah,
of
of course,
the US.
you can.
So Starlink would not
Maybe.
count. Starlink is
No,
not
he's a government
program.
official now.
He is
No, he's
now,
not a
but
government
his
official.
business
Oh, is he
isn't.
not yet?
No, Doge is not an official government thing. It's like an advisory thing.
Okay, so that's
And he still owns
depends
his
how
own
you want to
business.
define a government official. Then I guess it's more like a
Businesses that he-
consultation agreement.
I would say
Sort
businesses that he
of.
owned and operated privately prior to.
Also, he
you
has
know.
contracts with the government with Starlink.
Is it?
He does, yeah. He has government contracts to Starlink to the government. For the
Yeah.
United
I was
States.
just thinking about how he like sold Starlink to like people in the Amazon and shit.
He also just gave it away for free
I
to a
don't know.
bunch of people.
It's kind of weird
Yeah.
because like he's like I know, but like almost all of his businesses are subsidized by the government.
He
And
gets
has a
up
lot
there and
of-
makes a sig heil, but he also sends Starlink to the Jews in Israel. I don't know.
Well, the Zionists.
Yeah, okay, you're right. They are kind of the new. Is Elon Musk? Maybe that's what he meant.
All
Maybe
these
that, maybe
fucking
they're-
Nazis
they're
supporting
retarded.
Israel.
Well, they're retarded Nazis. They're the ones that realize they were like, you know,
They're
we're gonna do
they're-
the
It goes
thing that
back
they
to
do
my
to us.
argument where like people are accusing supporting Israel being like a Nazi thing, where it's just like, okay, I guess you
It's
just
not-
don't know what the fuck the word Nazi means.
It's not
I guess.
Israel. It's
like,
retarded
people are
Nazi
accusing
is a funny
Zionism,
guy.
which is the nationalist version
yeah,
of it.
Zionism. People who believe in Israel specifically,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
state of Israel, and Israel being a thing. That's Zionism.
Yeah, well, you know what? America
Zion
doesn't
is like
have that, so we
Israel.
call them Nazis.
Retarded Nazi is a funny character.
We don't have what?
I don't know, a
not a-
funny single word.
You're not.
What do we just call American Nazis Americans?
Hey, we just have a meaningless word, Nazi, which means guy I don't like.
not of the singular pure Aryan race.
You look
Seriously,
like
anytime someone starts talking about white purity, all I can think of is like Down syndrome.
you look like a Jew
Like-
to me. It's the nose, I think.
It's the nose.
Well,
hooked.
I do have a couple of Jewy family members who have some pretty Mediterranean noses. Not gonna lie, though they are
Führer-
Swedish. They're
The
very
Führer
Swedish.
would be pleased.
Retarded Nazi's a good character. He just, I like
Sick,
that guy.
my heart goes out to
Yeah,
you.
he's like-
I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're
he's
just saying
hard
the
to
same
understand.
word over and over again. Retard, Nazi,
Yeah,
retard, Nazi, Nazi, retard, retard, Nazi. Like, what do you mean?
Sorry, you say that
wish-
word, and my brain just goes bored immediately.
I wish that there were.
I mean, the word doesn't mean anything.
What if the
Like-
Nazi? What if like all the times that the Nazis went and did like fucking rallies and shit, and they're out there doing Sig Heils? They've all got Down syndrome.
I just like-
They're all, like Sig Heiling with like a Down syndrome list.
I don't know. I keep being this imagery now that we keep saying, "That just means nothing." It means nothing. That it's just like a full on like Nazi rally with a dude like dressed up all the way as Hitler.
Yeah, and you're like, well,
it's just like a random Sunday. Like people are just passing by. He's like, "Sig Heil, Sig Heil, to the power!" And then
You see
people are
those
just like,
Nazis?
"Hey, Jim."
yeah. You see those Nazis? No, actually, those are just fascists. The word Nazi doesn't mean anything anymore. Haven't you heard?
yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm
it's just like to
picturing
an
now.
extreme degree.
Yeah.
See, like,
Actually,
see,
we can't
Will's
use that
taking
anymore.
They're just
what we
actually
said-
rolling in on a tank, you know. It's just like,
Will is taking what we said last episode, and he's saying that the thing that we said a Nazi, if that showed up, we wouldn't call it a Nazi.
Yeah, but
like,
it's
no, I
funny.
think something
that's
that
that's
actually-
what matters here, Eric. Is the context is what he said was funny.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
matters.
this is a comedy show.
where
Fair
I
enough,
say
fair
that
enough.
We
Whoopi
appeal to
Goldberg
emotion
looks
and
like
not
a
logic.
monkey.
So if we had an emergency alert on all of our phones right now and everything else that was connected to like streaming media of any kind, cable TV, phones, internet, if that suddenly got an emergency message right now and it was just a single word, black screen, white text that just said hide.
Yeah. I'm
What would you do with that?
Well, I've prepared everything for that, so it's basically the same inevitability that I see
Yeah,
as
he
a
would go get his
nuclear
gas
strike.
mask.
So yeah, I'd go
Like-
get the gas masks. I'd go get the shotgun, and
Like no
I'd start.
context, just hide.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's all I need. That'll keep me in the storm shelter until morning.
I mean, like,
That's plenty. There's
I-
one entrance. They ain't getting to me. That is six.
I guess
6
I'd be
feet
scared
thick.
a little bit, but then like I would look at it, look around, and go, "There's legitimately nothing I could reasonably do with hide." So I would just kind of wait. Look around and wait. I guess go home.
We know Will's dying.
Yeah, air filters, gas mask, shotgun, canned food,
Hide from what?
water.
I don't know.
See,
Fill up the
That's
bathtub.
kind of the problem, though, isn't it? You don't know what you're hiding.
This is
from.
the kind of shit that keeps me up at night, Eric. You're basically just being like, what about that inevitability that you've thought about every waking moment between the 7 and 10 p.m.? And I'm like, yeah, I have a few thoughts. I've got, made a few
Oh, it doesn't say
preparations.
there's a nuclear holocaust. It
No,
doesn't say
I
we're
don't
being
need.
invaded.
I don't need it to say there's nuclear holocaust. It just needs to tell me to
mean,
get the fuck out. And
For all you know, the sun might just be evil now. Like, I mean, there's you don't know what the problem is, but it says hide.
I'm
Like,
gonna.
Oh yeah,
right
I'd get
now.
eaten by the SCP scenario for sure.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I'm not hiding without no information. It's
You
just
think,
I'm
we're
like,
gonna get like considering the sun being
Whatever.
evil? You think there's gonna be like a solar flare that wipes out electricity for a while in our lifetime? That seems pretty likely,
fucking
right?
Probably
I mean,
everything else
it
keeps
could.
happening within our lifetime.
I fully
Damn, if
agree
you
with
ain't
Will
right,
on
though.
that note.
For some reason in our dude,
This
people
is why
get
we
mad
all-
at us. Like my dad gets mad at our generation for being doomers, and I'm like, have you read the news since I've been 12? Like it just.
Yeah.
It's like, let me think. I was born in '89. The Soviet Union fell,
Which is obviously the worst part of your
It
life so
is.
far.
Well, see, like that happened, and then everyone was just like, "Hey, maybe things will just get better in America." And don't ask what happened in the Balkans or
Really
anything
depends who
during
you're
the
asking.
90s.
I guess we could be going into a golden age right now.
What was that place?
The
your
president
dad?
went in and signed 100 executive orders. He seems like the one guy who's ever done that and then actually immediately done a bunch of shit. I don't
God
know.
knows
Maybe
when a leader comes in and immediately changes a lot of laws all of a sudden.
that's a good thing.
usually
It's always a
sign.
good. It's always a good sign.
Usually a good
Yeah.
sign. you
I
know.
Especially
mean, like,
one convicted of a bunch of felonies.
yeah, he'll either be Hitler or he'll be Napoleon. It's just
Yeah.
one or the other. He'll either be Hitler or he'll be Napoleon.
I don't know. Why
I mean,
can't he
it's
be cool
depressing-
like Caesar?
Because Napoleon was cool. He rules. He was better than
Napoleon
Caesar.
was a panty sniffer.
Yeah, which rules.
So?
And he would go to Japan with me and buy the used panties out of the vending
Napoleon
machine.
would 100% spend France's
He'd say,
GDP
"Sacre
on.
bleu."
I gotta be
tiny
honest,
vending
man.
machines.
Like much like
Oh, he's like putting coins into the thing.
Much like-
just like staring real
Now,
close.
that's what I need an animation
Yeah,
of is
hell
Napoleon
yeah.
buying used
Napoleon,
panties.
yeah, there's
Much
you an
like-
isekai. Napoleon dies and then goes to modern day Japan.
much like when Abraham Lincoln's advisors told him, "But Grant's a drunkard. You shouldn't have him. He bad." He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, what kind of whiskey does he drink?
Yeah.
Because send it to him.
You know, that
because
was-
he's actually winning, you stupid fucks.
Yeah.
I don't care if he snorts pussy juice out of panties. If he just keeps winning, who cares?"
You know, Grant's drinking was actually largely exaggerated and actually Southern propaganda.
Yeah,
The
well, the,
reason was-
success and morality of communism has been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
It's communist propaganda.
Cool, good jab there, buddy. You got me there.
The thing about Grant's drinking, if I recall, the reason that it was so widely reported was because he drank when he entertained guests. So the idea was the only time people saw him, he was drinking because
Right.
he was entertaining other people,
Now,
and he
He
drank
did
a
get
lot.
he did get in trouble for being a drunkard because he did heavily drink when he first joined the army. I think
Was it Reagan or Nixon who got drunk and ordered a nuclear strike?
it was Nixon.
I want to say it was Nixon too. I mean, like
Yeah.
if we can survive Nixon, Grant was probably fucking nothing. If we can, Donald Trump doesn't drink, right? Because
Not
I can
that
see
I'm
that.
aware of.
I don't think I've ever seen him drink.
I
And
could
that
see
would
him
be
No,
drink.
he Donald Trump actually has gone on record saying he doesn't smoke or drink because he said like
he
he
avoids
doesn't like
drugs and
drugs because
alcohol.
it affects his mind. You don't like.
yeah, he's one of
he
those
doesn't
dudes.
like mind altering.
Ironically,
substances.
he's relatively straight edged.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I mean, if anybody ever got his ass like
So was,
really plastered, I
so
could
was
see him
Hitler,
doing the same
funnily
thing.
enough.
Yeah, and a vegetarian too.
Yeah, he also loved animals.
Yeah, a lot of people who are control freaks and just have that, like that fear in them. They got that dog in them. You know what I'm saying? Like they got that dog in them who's like, yeah, if you drink, maybe you'll. Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor, was like that. Aaron Hansen didn't drink until he was 36. And all it was just because he's that kind of guy who's an entrepreneur and like a self-starter and has to feel like he is doing something every day, and getting drunk just
I was
ain't
straight
it,
edge for
Chief.
a while.
Were you?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see you doing that. You're the type, like people grind set dudes, just grind set dudes. Donald Trump is a grind set kind of guy. So is Aaron Hansen. So was Hitler. So are you. And like, yeah, you'll
drink
be
it-
one of those people.
Yeah, it's like I drink and smoke, but like
You are not a grind set individual.
I'm not. Well, no, I'm saying I'm not gonna like defend it. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, is it useful for certain things? Yes, but there's also a lot of drawbacks, and quite frankly, if you
they
can
should
get by
tax it
without
higher,
it,
in my opinion.
right? Like if you can get by without it, then fuck it. Fuck
Yeah.
drugs. Fuck alcohol, which is a drug. Yeah, just fuck drugs. I mean, if you don't need a drug, don't take it.
I'm
Like-
of the opinion that you should just allow everything that isn't like. I don't care if it kills people. Alcohol kills people. But like as long as it
Yeah, I
isn't
mean,
so
I-
mind altering that it's going to like give you peyote hallucinations.
If I can buy a
Then I
steak
think-
knife, don't fuck with me about me being able to buy something that can kill me.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm just
I
saying
can-
like if
For
it's
me,
not gonna
as long
make
as it's
you
not
a-
going to make you go out like bath salts
a
and eat
threat
somebody's
to other
face,
person. Yeah, if you're not a threat to other people
then
on
I don't
it
care if you do
generally,
it.
then like I think it should be legal and I think it should be taxed to high hell. Because
Yeah.
I'm really in support of sin tax.
I
Yeah,
agree.
If you want to
They're
do it,
like,
it's fine, but you got to pay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, I mean,
100%.
I'm not against a luxury tax.
Yeah, because then at that point it's like, hell yeah, man,
Now-
I drink every day, and also I'm funding the elementary school.
My mother-in-law used to have basically a mantra where she would just say, "Don't, arrest or persecute people for doing drugs. Arrest or persecute them for robbing a fucking liquor store to get drugs."
Yeah.
Like-
that was a mantra?
Like,
You know what a mantra is,
Something
right?
she repeats over and over and over
Okay,
again.
yeah. Okay, so it is a mantra.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Anytime the topic would come up, she was just like, just fucking legalize everything. And then, persecute people for, committing crimes.
Well, that didn't work out so well when she got really drunk and then
Well,
stole from that liquor store,
You
did
see,
it?
Eric.
Yeah,
if we,
but she's
if
a
we
white woman,
persecuted
so it
people
worked out
for
for her.
committing
You're right,
crimes
actually. If she-
and not for bullshit, we wouldn't have enough people for our prison enslavement systems.
It's true. Who's going to pick the cotton, Eric? Who's going to pick the cotton if your mother-in-law didn't steal that from that liquor store? Who was going to pick the cotton?
You know, you say
Black
that,
people?
but we do have prison farm things. Where
I've been to them.
Yeah,
I have
where
been-
we use the
I-
prison
Parchman
farm
works
labor,
on-
like the farm labor to keep. And here, and
I used to work for
here's the thing.
AT&T,
I
and my
believe prisons
job
should be self-sufficient. They should have to, grow your own food or starve, bitch.
If they're self-sufficient, that's one thing.
That's fine.
But the problem that it comes to is that we're going, okay, now work this farm, pick all this stuff, and we'll maybe give you like 3 cents on the dollar or whatever.
Oh no, nothing. They should be paid nothing.
But the issue is that it's exploitation. It's making profit for whoever runs the prison or is paying for that program.
Well, yeah, some money has to come in to pay for the electricity, to pay for like toothbrushes.
Yeah, but that's on the state for imprisoning people.
Well, it's on them for committing crimes.
He's saying
yes,
that they're
but if the
that
state is going to imprison people, it's on the state as the state's
the state's
obligation.
incentivized to imprison you for petty crimes, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like the government is incentivized to put you in jail for weed because it makes their social programs money.
Look, I'm all about stopping imprisoning people for petty crimes, unless it's ridiculously excessive. Like,
You steal
Okay,
from Kroger for the
we told-
30th time.
right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, we
At some
told
point,
you
you
not
just don't
to do
have
this.
any respect for the
Yeah,
law.
there's a point where it's just like, fuck you, asshole. I'm putting you in a goddamn box.
Yeah.
Like, because you refuse to do right.
The
That's
like-
not what we're talking about, though.
yeah.
You're still missing the
He's
fundamental.
not missing
No,
it. He
I'm not missing it.
understands
I'm saying I
completely.
understand exactly what you mean. Is that like I 110% do agree that like every pothead and traffic thing and whatever other petty crimes are out there, I don't want those people having to like do basically slave labor or anything like that. That's the prison reform I want. I just don't want those people in there at all. I think we should have people in there who are irredeemable assholes, and then they should either work to like have a living and your payment is you get to be alive, or they should just be killed.
Yeah, and he understands that the state is incentivized to put you in jail for petty crimes.
I understand the
It's just
justice system is shit.
Yeah, it's just that the current system, the way that it is,
The answer
people
isn't,
would lose money if they didn't do that, and that's the reason that you're going to jail for weed.
and I refuse to accept the answer of we should make prisons nicer. It's just like, no, we should make sure that the assholes in there are the assholes who should be in there. Making prison nicer.
When I worked
Fuck
for
those guys.
AT&T, I had to
I just
go
want to make sure
down
the guys
to
in there are the guys I want to say
uh,
fuck you to.
I had to go down to the Mississippi cotton fields when I worked for AT&T because my job was to make sure that everywhere in North Mississippi had cell phone coverage. And that meant the prison. And it also meant the fields. So my white little 120-pound ass in a polo shirt and khakis got to drive an AT&T vehicle down through the cotton field and go slowly past the prisoners as I'm holding up a cell phone, making sure I've got coverage. And the fucking prisoners are like sitting in the back of a truck, like just straight up looking like antebellum slaves.
Yeah.
It has not changed. There was not a single white guy, which I was like, okay. And then they were wearing like the fucking rags that like slaves would wear. And I was like, God damn, they just got the boys out here literally picking cotton. Like Mississippi, the
Slavery-
plantation just done moved. We ain't closed the plantation, no.
We just started calling it prison.
How do we get around paying our indentured servants?
Well,
Oh,
now they call them
student
employees.
Employees.
Yeah. Now they call
it
them
came
employees.
full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. It
Now
just
they
came
work.
full
Now they work
circle.
for McDonald's. And they're an employee.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
now
no.
they're trying to get to where McDonald's can rent a prisoner.
No, they already can in Florida, and they have people who are in prison for non-felony sentences working at the McDonald's, interacting with the public.
Because you
wonder-
know what I thought? I thought I'm tired of guessing whether or not the guy at the window is a felon or not. Whenever I'm at McDonald's, I want to know for sure.
Every time
that
I see
everyone here is literally a fucking felon.
You're right. Every time I go up there and I'm like, I wonder if the teardrop is because he's been in prison or maybe, somebody that he loved has died. Now I know. I know.
I was always worried that it'd be robots who replaced all the employees, but it's not.
It's so much more dystopian than that, Will.
It's convicts.
It's so much better.
more.
It's just people of color. It's so... Who needs to make robots
who may or may not be criminals?
Yeah, they may. We don't even know. We don't even know if they're criminals. They might just be a guy who had some weed one time.
That's the world we live in, man.
Man.
Were they just a guy trying to get to tomorrow?
Patrick, turn
Did
on
they
the
murder their sister's
Patrick, turn on the national anthem in the background and let it grow louder and louder as this conversation goes. Thank you for listening to the Anything Cast. God bless America and God bless the 48th president of the United States. What number is he?
I think 40. Wait, is it 49?
Is he 49th? Is
48.
Is it 40? No, is
Sure.
Biden 48?
No.
Do we know anything about
47th, I
politics? Were we educated enough to have opinions on
thought.
things?
No. Trump was 46. Biden was 47. Trump's 48.
Okay, so he's 48. Okay, yeah. All right. Hell yeah. Is there going to be a new thing where people add 46 plus 48 and then put that on a hat?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to...
And then it's going to add up and be...
Ooh. I just made my first
100.
million. What, 48 plus 46?
and
Will,
50,
please.
And 50.
Will, 48 plus 46? Neither of them are even 50.
Wait.
And you said 140 something?
Hold on,
How does math work in your brain? What the fuck are you on? Yeah.
I got 8. I got a 6. 8 plus 6 is 4.
Yeah.
Carry the 1.
Yeah.
4 plus 4 is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then
48 plus 46. 6 plus 8
so it'd be
is
64.
14. No. What? No. No, it's not. Do it like a toddler, Will. It's 46 plus 48. 8 plus 6, you get 14. You put the 1 up there, you add the 2 4s together, and then you add the 1. So
It's a 5. You get a 5.
It's 9. It's 9. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9.
So it's
96. You fucking toddler. God, Patrick, keep the American theme going. The national anthem. Put that shit in the background.
Donald Trump is the...
Forsake us that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Also, Donald Trump was 47th.
Oh, okay.